Yo, what's poppin'? I'm here, continuing my stage reviews, my mid-season reviews. A little bit forgot about them, not gonna lie, but we got two teams left. Washington first up, ninth in NA, the best team, the highest team that did not make the tournament. So Washington, the only team to actually drop out of the like tournament from kickoff clash to mid-season. So interesting from them there. But Washington, 6 points, 5-7 record with a -3 map differential. The team, of course, being Decay, Mag, Assassin, Happy, Vigilante, Krillin, Opener, Kalios. So Vigilante, of course, came in, I believe, and whenever they played the Gladiators in Stage 2. But this team has had a pretty rough go for it. They looked pretty good, but didn't look too good after all. So Stage 1, they beat Defiant 3-1, lose to Dallas 3-0, beat Atlanta 3-0, which is when we were like, maybe this team's pretty good, because we rated Atlanta pretty highly, generally. We were like, okay. And then they beat Paris 3-1. But then they lose to Boston 3-1 and Florida 3-1. And in the tournament, they go 3-2 to Shucks. We're like, okay, they have something. And then they lost to Florida 3-1 again. So, standard Washington justice. They give you just enough to believe, but then they take it away just as quickly. Oh, ignore that. Then stage 2 comes around. They beat New York 3-1, which is like, whatever. They're New York. Then you lose to Houston 3-2. Toronto 3-1, Glads 3-1, and London 3-2, and then beat Vancouver 3-2. People thought, oh, this is the time. Vancouver can get the win. Washington aren't that bad yet. Let's calm down. But yeah, they've had a pretty, standard bit of Washington. Oh, they have the pieces. They're really good players. They are good. They can be good guys, and then they aren't good. Standard hate relationship with them. I really do want this team to do well. I think that Happy has been unreal. Happy's been spectacular this season, and he is not being rewarded for it with wins. This team, the biggest thing is that they're consistently so passive. And Supreme has been the head coach of this roster for so long, and it's always been the same problems. This team is so passive. They can't get a good dive. There's no tempo setting. They're just sitting back, and if teams let them go crazy, if they let Decay and Happy go crazy, Washington look very good, and they will look very good. If you don't let them go crazy, you set the tempo and you bring the fights to them, they look bad. This is what happened whenever they beat Atlanta. Atlanta at this point were playing very passively. They were sitting back. They were doing their thing. Atlanta has set the tempo better since then. It has evolved as a team. Washington remains stagnant. They look good on the Kalios thing, kind of, where they play the Sigma, but the problem is still there of they don't set tempo. You can only sit back on the Sigma for so long before you just lose. You give up so much cart pressure, you give up so much objective pressure, and you just sit back and slowly lose. The players have been performing. There have been times where Decay looks fantastic, Happy looks fantastic, Krillin was spectacular, I thought, for them. Vigilante, he was all right. Krillin, I thought, looked very good, but that might have been partially because I expected less from him. But solid there. The biggest problem whenever they run the dive, which is what they should run. You can't avoid running dive forever. Their dives are never synced. There's something wrong there, and I think it's still mostly because they're not setting tempo. It's very hard to get a coordinated good dive if you're not setting the tempo for the dive. And honestly, there's no one problem with the players. None of the players have one specific problem with them, but as a team, they're not gelling, and at this point, you have to make a coaching change. You have to. I'm begging Washington management to see what's actually happening on their screen and recognize that maybe this isn't going to work anymore. We've had this team, had this roster, and had this coach, and consistently, it's never been enough. It's never been good. It's never been consistently good for any sustainable period of time. It's time to take a look at that and really dig in and make some changes that maybe are hard to make, but it needs to be done because you have Decay on a salary. He's worth money, right? Happy's been everything about this roster screams this is a good team, but it's not happening. It just hasn't happened. So week 15, they play Shock in Paris. You should get a win over Paris. If you start losing to the bottom 3 teams, I'm gonna have some real concerns because at that point, not only is your team not good enough to make it like to be consistently good in the top 8, but then your team is in the bottom 3, which is like maybe they need to lose to Paris to wake up and fire Supreme. I'm like, it has to happen. It needs to happen. 16th or week 16 they play Florida. They've lost 3-1 to them twice, so I expect the Florida win there. 17th week 17, Vancouver and London again should be a win over Vancouver. London, we'll see how good Rush is. We'll see what happens when Junker Queen comes in. I think that Rush should be good in the Junker Queen. It's hard to say anything really. Whatever. And then they play Houston. So there should be a 2-4 stage here. That's not enough to get you into the countdown or to the summer. What's it called? The summer showdown. It's not enough. So 3-3 is enough to get you in as it was in stage 1. 2-4 is not going to be enough. If they can find a win against Florida or London or Houston, there's a shot for them. But I've been calling it a coin flip for this team. It's not even a coin flip anymore. They just weren't good last stage. They just weren't good. There wasn't any coin flip to be had there. Look, they beat the bottom 2 of the bottom 3 teams and lost to everyone else. They're sitting right there. I don't know. That's it. It looks pretty bleak for Washington. I don't see any major team changes coming. I just see a team that's content with being bad with good talent, and it's really sad to see because I still believe in this roster, but I don't believe in the team. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. As always, like this video if you liked it. Subscribe for more daily Rocket League content. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourself a good one.